Well, Share the Good News is described on the cover as the directory for catechesis, the National Directory for Catechesis in Ireland. So the first thing is, it is a directory. Now, in most people's minds, when they think of a directory, they think of a telephone directory. In other words, a book that has a list of alphabetical entries in it. Now, that is definitely one meaning of a directory. We're all used to that. But another meaning for a directory is a book that will actually give direction. So Share the Good News is a directory in the sense that it is giving direction. So giving direction for what and to whom? Well, it's giving direction for faith development in Ireland over the next 10 years. So if you're wondering how the faith should be developed, both theoretically and actually practically, from the point of view of structures, this directory gives the direction. And then you might say, and who is it giving direction to? It is giving direction to absolutely everybody who is a member of the Catholic Church. It is not just intended for bishops and archbishops and parish priests. It's directed towards every committed adult who's interested in faith development in Ireland. Well, it is really an extremely significant document. Now, I know that the temptation is that when anybody produces a document, they immediately say, yes, this document, because I happen to be talking about it, is extremely significant. But this actually is an extremely significant document. And why do I say that? Well, in the first instance, Rome has asked each national church twice since the Second Vatican Council to produce a national directory. They've asked the Irish Church to produce a national directory, a plan for the direction of faith development. And we are the third English-speaking country in the world to produce this type of directory. We're after the United States and the Philippines, and now in 2011 we have the Irish directory. So it's significant in that it is actually a document that was requested. It took 6 years to put together, and various different drafts of it were written before it was approved, and it has been finally approved by Rome. The actual official stamp, if you like, is called a recognitio, and it received its recognitio, and the recognitio, or the official approval, is printed on one of the first pages of the directory. So it is significant in that it has taken a lot of time to produce. It is a definite official document that has got recognition from Rome, and it is very significant in that it actually produces a detailed 10-year plan for faith development in Ireland. The Vatican have produced 2 directories for the Universal Church, one in the 1970s and the other one in the 1990s. And while these universal directories giving direction for faith development in the Catholic Church worldwide, they are obviously very helpful. But when it comes to a specific area like Ireland, it doesn't actually address the Church in Ireland. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you look at the Irish Church, the actual culture and the tradition is different in Ireland. The setup for teaching religion in schools in Ireland is different from other parts of the world. The way we approach adult religious education is unique to Ireland. We have specific communities that are unique to Ireland. We have an Irish-speaking community. We have a travelling community. Now, of course, we have an immigrant community that other countries have. But then we also have traditions, so that when you come to giving direction for faith development in any specific country, you have to pay attention to the history of the church in that country, to the culture, to the makeup, and to the way the church is organised. And so a general directory would be helpful and has been helpful, but now that we have a specific national directory for catechesis in Ireland, it is detailed and specific. That is a very good question, because when any group or body produces a document, The danger is that people will say, oh yes, it's a very good and worthwhile document, and then they put it on the shelf and they say, oh yes, I must dip into this every now and then, and if I'm writing a paper or whatever, I can use it as a reference and put a footnote from the directory. That is not what is envisaged for this National Directory, Share the Good News. This is actually a workable 10-year plan. And the Episcopal Conference in Ireland has decided that it is not going to be a book just to sit on the shelf, and so they have directed the Catechetics Council to form an implementation committee. And the job of this implementation committee has been detailed down in another accompanying document, and they have 2 years to do their work. And after the 2-year period, this implementation committee will then hand over to the National Faith Development Team. This is a new concept that is described in the directory. And the National Faith Development Team then has a period of 8 years until I think it's the year 2021. They have a period of 8 years within which to implement all the proposed new structures that are mentioned in the directory and to implement the whole new change of emphasis regarding faith development in Ireland. So it is actually a 10-year plan until the year 2021.